This is Nightline, and I'm Sabrina Zainal. News making the headlines. Electricity and diesel subsidy rationalization saves government 8 billion ringgit annually. And assault on disabled e-hailing driver, Tunku Ismail urges for thorough probe. Good morning. We begin with this story. The rationalization of diesel and electricity subsidies will save the government some 8 billion ringgit annually. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim said the rationalization of electricity tariffs last year translates into annual savings of 4.5 billion ringgit, while the removal of diesel subsidies will save the government some 4 billion ringgit per year. Anwar, who was also the finance minister, assured that subsidies will still be provided to companies transporting goods and public transport providers to reduce the impact on the people.
Jadi selama ini dah 8 bilion ringgit. Kerja kita apa? Bayar sedekah atau subsidi kepada orang maha kaya dan orang asing. Sekarang bila kita hentikan, kita selamatkan. Saya sebut ini kerana nanti jadikan isu politik oleh setengah pihak.
He said this at the closing of the state-level Keamatan Festival at Hongkot Khoisan in Penampang, Sabah on Friday. Previously, in announcing the rationalization of diesel subsidies, Anwar said the money saved on subsidies would be used for targeted aid. He also said that Sabah and Sarawak will be excluded from the diesel rationalization exercise due to the needs of the people. The use of diesel is more widespread in Sabah and Sarawak compared to the peninsula, where more challenging terrains require the use of four-wheel drives. Meanwhile, Anwar has set a July deadline to eradicate hardcore poverty in Sabah, as the problem is more serious in the state compared to those in the peninsula. He said issues on basic needs and infrastructure development should be prioritized and addressed by both the federal and state governments. The Prime Minister also said he is confident that the target can be achieved, as the number of heads of households in the hardcore poor category in Sabah has now dropped to just 9,000 from 20,000 previously.
Kita mahu noktahkan kemiskinan tegar di negeri Sabah ini sebelum akhir Julai 2024. So lihat, ini keutamaan kita. Kita boleh bincang pelbagai hal. Tapi kalau anak-anak kita, keluarga kita yang tak cukup makan, itu tanggungjawab yang kita selesaikan.
On another matter, Anwar said he aims to immediately resolve any long-standing issues relating to matters agreed between the federal and Sabah governments in the Malaysia Agreement 1963 or MA63. To avoid further delays, he said Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof had also been instructed to chair the MA63 Action Council as a platform to resolve the matters. China on Friday has agreed to extend visa-free travel for Malaysian tourists from 15 to 30 days. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, who is on his first official visit in China, made the announcement during a luncheon hosted by Chinese Vice Premier Ding Zujiang in conjunction with the 50th anniversary of Malaysia-China diplomatic relations at the Diaoyu Tai State Guest House in Beijing, China. Ahmad Zahid had on Wednesday raised the matter during a courtesy call with Chinese Premier Li Qiang. The implementation, however, will only take effect once the agreement is signed between China's Public Security Minister and the Home Minister, which is expected in the first week of June. China has extended the visa-free policy for short-term visits to the Republic for Malaysia and 11 other nations until the end of 2025. The extension, he said, aims to enhance exchanges between Chinese and foreign nationals. Last November, Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim announced a 30-day visa exemption for tourists from China and India starting December 1st of the same year. Meanwhile, commenting on the Malaysia-China 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations this year, Ahmad Zahid believed that both countries could work together to realize the respective concepts of Malaysia Madani and Community Shared Future (CSF) for the mutual benefit of their people. In other news, Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim has urged the police to conduct a thorough probe on the case involving one of his police escorts who allegedly assaulted a disabled e-hailing driver in front of a hotel in Kuala Lumpur on Tuesday. The regent of Johor stressed that he wanted justice for the victim. In a statement posted on Facebook on Friday, Tunku Ismail said he was informed of the alleged assault and immediately informed the police's escort team to cooperate with investigations. The Johor regent also said he does not condone any illegal action or intimidation and hopes that the authorities will take action in accordance with the law. Tunku Ismail also called for the authorities to be given space to probe the incident. Tunku Ismail also said he is aware that there is a movement to drag down the royal institution using the incident. He stressed that any effort to link actions of an external security personnel with him and the entire royal institution is uncalled for. It was previously reported that the police were probing the alleged assault, purportedly involving a police officer tasked with escorting a VVIP. The 46-year-old e-hailing driver, however, later lodged a report stating that the matter had been resolved and that he did not want to prolong it. Meanwhile, Bukit Aman has summoned all the police officers involved in the alleged assault on the disabled e-hailing driver to have their statements recorded on the matter. In a statement on Friday, Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razarudin Hussain said this is to ensure a thorough investigation into the case, adding that the priority of the Royal Malaysia Police, PDRM, is to ensure accountability for all involved. He also assured that decisive action will be taken against any officers found guilty. He stressed that the PDRM is committed to upholding integrity and ensuring that appropriate actions are taken to uphold justice and protect the rights of all individuals, especially the disabled community. 3 foreign workers were injured while 6 others escaped unharmed after a huge electronic billboard along the federal highway caught fire on Friday. The 9 workers were trapped while carrying out maintenance work on the billboard when the incident occurred. Several video clips of the fire captured by the public and widely shared on social media showed the harrowing moments when the workers were trapped on the burning structure. Black smoke was also billowing from the billboard, visible from several kilometers away. In a statement, the Selangor Fire and Rescue Department said they were alerted to the incident near Sekolah Menengah Jenis Kebangsaan Katolik Petaling Jaya at 1:15 p.m. A 17-member team from the Petaling Jaya, Jalan Penchala and Subang Jaya Fire and Rescue stations were then dispatched to the scene to put out the fire and rescue the trapped workers. 3 of the workers suffered minor burns and were taken to the University Malaya Medical Center for treatment. The blaze was brought under control by 1:30 p.m. and the operation concluded about 2 hours later. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC has received several new complaints regarding the issue of a minister's husband being appointed to provide a proof of concept for a transportation project by the Selangor state government. According to a source, the complaints and information provided several new leads to be looked into by the commission. Now, the source added that following this, further investigation is being conducted by the MACC to verify the authenticity of the information or new leads. The comprehensive probe include examining issues of abuse of power and governance in compliance with Treasury instructions in the process of appointing the firm by the Selangor state government. Meanwhile, MACC Deputy Chief Commissioner for Operations, Datuk Sri Ahmad Kusairi Yahya, when contacted, confirmed that several complaints and information had been received regarding this issue. He, however, reminded the public not to speculate on the issue and to give space for the MACC to carry out the investigation. MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki previously stated that the Commission did not find any wrongdoing in the interim investigation regarding the issue. However, he said that if there are new leads, further investigation can be conducted. TV3 today celebrates a milestone anniversary marking 40 years since it first went on the air on June 1st, 1984. Packed with programs that resonate across all segments of viewers, TV3 has become the go-to channel for Malaysians looking for news, quality entertainment and informative programs. And in keeping with the latest developments in the digital world, TV3's broadcasts are not just available on television screens but also across all online platforms. This commitment from the country's first private television station ensures that it continues to inspire Malaysians across all generations. Dominating mainstream media over the years, TV3 has grown to become a well-known brand, including in Southeast Asia. Its wide-ranging programs, covering aspects of spirituality, current issues, community issues, global conflicts, and entertainment, continues to resonate with viewers. This has earned the channel international recognition, including accolades at the Asia Content Awards.
Komitmen TV3 terhadap tanggungjawab sosial adalah sebahagian daripada DNA kami. Kami yakin bahawa kami boleh membuat sumbangan yang bermakna kepada kesejahteraan masyarakat. Seiring memasuki bab baru dalam perjalanan kami terus kukuh dalam misi memanfaatkan platform kami untuk kebaikan, membentuk masa depan yang lebih cerah bagi semua rakyat Malaysia.
Advancements in technology have also digitally transformed the channel. This shift aims to meet the demands of a society that now favors having the world at their fingertips, providing access to TV3's content anywhere and anytime.
Saya yakin bahawa the resilience oleh semua warga TV3 boleh memastikan bahawa kami dapat bukan sahaja melawan cabaran tersebut, tapi untuk memastikan bahawa kami dapat berintegrasi kecerdasan buatan dalam operasi kita untuk menjadi lebih hebat di masa hadapan.
Moreover, most of the content aired as the result of the ideas and creativity of TV3 staff themselves. They're given the opportunity and space to create content which is produced in the form of programs that are broadcast on air.
Hakikatnya, hasil yang TV3 telah capai selama ini sebenarnya dipacu oleh warga kerja TV3. Jadi, saya rasa adalah amat penting untuk memberi peluang kepada warga kerja untuk mendalami ilmu, sama ada daripada segi pengisian yang khusus ataupun mendalami teknologi baru.
Undoubtedly, the strength of TV3 is also supported by its loyal viewers who consider the station a platform for airing grievances, as they are confident that the issues raised can help to be resolved. When it comes to reporting on international news events, TV3 doesn't rely solely on international news agencies. Its representatives are stationed in Europe, as well as several ASEAN countries such as Indonesia and Thailand.
Contoh terbaik adalah bila mana MH17 ditembak jatuh di Ukraine. Aliza Hashim adalah wartawan pertama antara yang terawal tiba di lokasi nahas. Begitu juga di Jakarta kita juga mempunyai wakil, di Thailand kita juga mempunyai wakil iaitu Tuan Dania di selatan Thai. Kita mengambil berat mengenai pentingnya berita-berita dari negara-negara seperti di selatan Thailand yang berdekatan dengan kita inilah.
At the same time, journalists are also given the space to showcase their creativity in delivering news items, such as by way of augmented reality in their special reports.
TV3 dah jauh berbeza berbanding 40 tahun dahulu, bukan 40 tahun saja, even 10 tahun dahulu, di mana kita banyak menerapkan nilai-nilai yang lebih menarik dalam elemen penyampaian, elemen produksi, dengan pelbagai kaedah bagi memastikan orang penonton tidak saja boleh melihat dari segi visual yang menjadi keutamaan kita, which is visual bagi kita adalah king.
Moving forward, TV3 is on a solid footing as a brand that is resistant to challenges in order to remain as the main choice for viewers not only on television screens but on digital platforms as well.
Kita ada variety, kita ada pelbagai konten yang boleh kita nikmati, dan itu bagi saya adalah baik untuk para penonton, baik untuk negara kita, baik untuk ekonomi, dan harapan saya TV3 terus memainkan peranan yang penting sebagai salah satu kita boleh anggap tiang seri lah dalam saluran yang menghasilkan konten yang dinikmati oleh rakyat Malaysia.
Still to come, Trump denounces hush money trial guilty verdict.
Mereka dilahirkan sebagai insan istimewa. Ibu bapa perlu memahami apakah developmental milestone. Namun, kelebihan dimiliki menjangkau kemampuan ramai.
Sebahagian autism mereka tak mukallaf.
Autism tak kenal maka tak cinta. Kupasannya dalam Hello Doktor, Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Inspirasi generasi bersamamu di TV3.
1 dan 2 Juni korang buat apa? Jom ikut saya pergi inspirasi bazar di Museum Telekom Kuala Lumpur. Explore pameran seni digital dan persembahan cahaya interaktif yang super cool. Plus ada pop-up booth yang memang vibe habislah. Lupa nak cakap persembahan baskers juga ada tau. Memang layan habis dari 10 pagi hingga 10 malam. Apa lagi? Dah sampai roja-roja, okey? Selamat Hari TV3. #Inspirasi Generasi. Kami sentiasa bersamamu.
From the high seas to the halls of education, learn from the best on how to navigate crisis.
We as a woman, and the role is the same at home, at work. As a lady, we do our decision in our team very systematic.
We must be an independent learner. Like I said, lifelong learning is very important. We manage crisis all the time. We must not go through a crisis of confidence because we can make it. We can do anything and everything we want to do.
Inspirasi generasi bersamamu di TV3.
Welcome back. Donald Trump on Thursday called his criminal hush money trial a disgrace after a New York jury found him guilty on all 34 criminal counts of falsifying business records. The former U.S. president told reporters outside the courtroom in Manhattan's Supreme Court that the trial was rigged as he continued to maintain his innocence. He also attacked Judge Merchan, who presided over the case. With the jury's unanimous verdict, Trump became the first former U.S. president ever to be convicted of a crime. He faces prison when he is sentenced on July 11th, but legal experts say a fine is more likely. However, despite the convictions and the dent on his spirited efforts to unseat current President Joe Biden in the November elections, Trump could still run for the election. At least 3 people were killed, including a suspect in a shooting in the U.S. city of Minneapolis on Thursday. The incident began around 5:30 p.m. local time when officers responded to a call of a double shooting at an apartment complex in the Whittier neighborhood. According to officials, as one of the officers was about 2 blocks from the complex, he noticed individuals who were injured. He got out of his car to provide aid to one man who wound up shooting the officer. Another officer then arrived and exchanged gunfire with the shooter, who died despite life-saving efforts on the part of officers. It was also reported that 2 more people had been shot inside the apartment complex. The motives behind the attack is still unknown, and an investigation has been launched. Moving on, the Zionist regime withdrew from the Jabalia refugee camp in northern Gaza early on Friday after a 20-day military operation that destroyed about 70% of the camp. The attack saw the regime conducting more than 200 airstrikes on the densely populated area, where more than 100,000 Palestinians lived during the operation. Civil defense spokesman Mahmoud Basal said around 70% of Jabalia camp has been completely destroyed and is unlivable, as the infrastructure and water pipes have been completely destroyed. In the meantime, the Israeli military has confirmed that its forces are operating in central parts of Rafah in its expanding offensive in the southern Gaza city. It did not specify where in central Rafah the operations were taking place, but previous statements and witness reports have pointed to raids in the Shabura refugee camp and other sites near the city center. An Indian court on Friday has urged the government to declare a national emergency over the country's ongoing heat wave, citing the hundreds of people who have died in recent weeks. According to the High Court in the western state of Rajasthan, authorities had failed to take appropriate steps to protect the public from the heat, and that due to extreme weather conditions, hundreds of people have lost their lives this month. The court then directed the state government to set up compensation funds for relatives of any person who has died as a result of heat ailments. Ruling on the current heat wave and such events in the future, it also said India should begin declaring them national calamities. Djokovic cruises into Roland Garros third round. Sports right after this breather.
Warna-warni ulang tahun ke-40 TV3, bakat personaliti TV, inspirasi generasi dunia penyiaran. Apa cita-cita Aisyah?
Nak jadi pengacara TV, asal mungkin nanti boleh ganti Aunty Mira.
Nampak tak?
Saya sangat berbangga menjadi pengacara yang pertama launch TV3.
Bila you bekerja TV3, you jadi host, at the same time, you juga adalah wartawan penyiaran. You buat story. It shaped me as a person.
Siapa peminat nombor 1? Aina Abdul, Dayang Nur Faizah, Naim Daniel dan Alif. 1, 2, 8 dan 9 Jun ini, TV3 membawakan Arts and Lights Expressive Showcase di Museum Telekom Kuala Lumpur. Peminat bertuah boleh saksikan persembahan eksklusif mereka secara intimate tau. Macam mana? Layari je platform media sosial TV3. Selamat Hari TV3. #Inspirasi Generasi. Kami sentiasa bersamamu.
I need you in my life.
You better get somebody else.
Ayah rasa sakit tau.
Drama penuh dilema dan paling emosi 2024. Wanita pilihannya bukan 1 atau 2, tapi 3.
Jadi suami pun tak boleh pakai, jadi bapa pun tak guna.
Perebutan harta dan permainan nyawa. Netizen, stream sekarang drama rating tertinggi dan paling tular di Malaysia. Lelaki Itu melalui Tonton.
Sports now. Badminton, the 2024 Singapore Open. Malaysia's campaign came to an end in the quarterfinals after all of the national shuttlers lost their respective matches on Friday. World number 1 Victor Axelsen proved too strong for national young men's singles shuttler Leong Junhao as he ended the Malaysians' spirited run. The world number 36 lost in straight sets to Axelsen, with a Danish player winning 21-12, 21-11 in 41 minutes. In another action, former world champions Aaron Chia Sovuyik failed to get the better of Danes Kim Astrup Andreskarup Rasmussen in their men's doubles clash. The fourth-seeded duo, the last Malaysian pair in the competition, were bundled out after losing 10-21, 14-21 to the fifth-seeded Danish pair. Also shown the exit were Go Zhifei Nur Izzuddin Rumsani. The pair could not get past China's He Jiting Ren Jiangyu as they suffered a 16-21, 21-9, 17-21 defeat. In the mixed doubles event, Chen Tangji, To Yi Wei were also sent packing for home. The national pair ended their run after losing to South Korea's Seo Sung-jae, Chae Yu-jung 14-21, 18-21. Tennis now, the 2024 Roland Garros. Top seed Novak Djokovic will continue his quest for a record-extending 25th major title after a convincing straight sets victory against Roberto Cabarrós Baena in the second round. Djokovic was briefly made to work hard by the unseeded Spaniard before sealing a 6-4, 6-1, 6-2 victory. The defending champion used 5 aces and 7 service breaks to win in just over 2 hours. Aiming for his 4th trophy on the Parisian clay, the 37-year-old will next meet 30th seed Lorenzo Musetti in the third round. In another match, Alexander Zverev reached the third round with a 7-6, 6-2, 6-2 victory over the experienced Belgian David Goffin, 3 days after beating Rafael Nadal. The 4th-seeded German, seeking to win his first French Open after making the semi-finals in the last 3 years, will next face Dutchman Talon Griekspoor. Joining them was Casper Ruud of Norway. The 2-time French Open finalist kept his title hopes alive by narrowly beating Spaniard Alejandro Davidovich Fokina 7-6, 1-6, 6-3, 4-6, 6-3. Ruud will play world number 29 Thomas Martin Etcheverry of Argentina next. Earlier, 13th seed Holger Rune also produced a dramatic performance as he edged past Italian Flavio Cobolli in 5 grueling sets, 6-4, 6-3, 3-6, 3-6, 7-6, to advance to the third round. The Dane came from 5-love down in the deciding tiebreak to clinch his win and set up a meeting with Slovakia's Josef Kovalik. Coming up, over 1.2 million ringgit worth of drugs seized with the arrest of 2 men. Don't go away.
1 dan 2 Juni korang buat apa? Jom ikut saya pergi inspirasi bazar di Museum Telekom Kuala Lumpur. Explore pameran seni digital dan persembahan cahaya interaktif yang super cool. Plus, ada pop-up booth yang memang vibe habis lah. Lupa nak cakap persembahan baskers juga ada tau. Memang layan habis dari 10 pagi hingga 10 malam. Apa lagi? Dah sampai roja-roja, okey? Selamat Hari TV3. #Inspirasi Generasi. Kami sentiasa bersamamu.
From the high seas to the halls of education, learn from the best on how to navigate crisis.
We as a woman, and the role is the same at home, at work. As a lady, we do our decision in our team very systematic.
We must be an independent learner. Like I said, lifelong learning is very important. We manage crisis all the time. We must not go through a crisis of confidence because we can make it. We can do anything and everything we want to do.
Inspirasi generasi bersamamu di TV3.
Mereka dilahirkan sebagai insan istimewa. Ibu bapa perlu memahami apakah developmental milestone. Namun, kelebihan dimiliki menjangkau kemampuan ramai.
Sebahagian autism mereka tak mau kalah.
Autism tak kenal maka tak cinta. Kupasannya dalam Hello Doktor, Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Inspirasi generasi bersamamu di TV3.
Thanks for staying with us. In Selangor, police nabbed 2 local men at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA Terminal 2, and seized 38.8 kilograms of shabu, valued at 1.2 million ringgit on Thursday. State Police Chief Dato' Hussein Omar Khan said the duo served as couriers for drug syndicates, transporting drugs from a neighboring country for distribution in Sarawak, including Bintulu, Sibu and Miri. According to Hussein, in the 4 a.m. operation, authorities first detained a 34-year-old man who was carrying 2 suitcases filled with 37 plastic packages believed to be shabu at the airport. Another 36-year-old suspect, allegedly involved in drug trafficking, was later arrested at a nearby hotel.
Sindiket ni menggunakan mengupahlah, yang kita tangkap ni consider dia transporter, mengupah daripada Miri, Bintulu dan juga Sibu. Okay. Mereka datang ke Kuala Lumpur, tinggal di hotel sekitar KLIA ini, dan mereka akan terima bekalan untuk dibawa ke Sarawak, sama ada Bintulu, Sibu ataupun Miri.
Speaking at a media briefing on Friday, Hussein added that the suspects earned 2,500 ringgit for each trip, and records showed that they made 7 trips between March and May. Based on initial investigations, both suspects received flight tickets and accommodation near KLIA, with their tasks lasting 2 to 3 days. They were also given bags of drugs to transport to Sarawak, where syndicate members awaited at drop-off points. It was believed that the seized drugs could potentially cater to 77,700 users in a day. The 2 suspects who had prior criminal records and tested positive for methamphetamine have been remanded for 7 days to assist investigations under the Dangerous Drugs Act.
At the same media conference, Hussein revealed that a married couple has been arrested for allegedly defacing a fast food restaurant in Kajang on Thursday by displaying an Israeli flag believed to be related to a recent boycott movement. The couple were arrested on Friday morning, and police also seized their clothing and the vehicle used during the incident. The suspects, who are in their 20s, also tested positive for drugs.
So pihak polis Selangor telah mengesan sejak 28 hari bulan Mei yang lalu sehingga semalam sebanyak 7 kes. 4 kes di Sungai Buloh, 2 kes di Petaling Jaya dan 1 kes di Kajang. Di Sungai Buloh dan juga di Petaling Jaya, suspek telah menconteng premis seperti KFC, McDonald, Subway dengan perkataan jelik lah.
The case is being investigated under sections 504 and 457 of the Penal Code. Police are also investigating whether the couple were linked to similar cases in Sungai Buloh and Petaling Jaya.
Since its inception in 1984, TV3 has been a timeless source of inspiration and an integral part of Malaysians' life. After decades of being Malaysia's go-to channel for news, quality entertainment and informative programming, TV3 only continues to inspire. In conjunction with its 40th anniversary celebrations, the iconic Malaysian TV station is hosting Imersio Inspirasi Generasi TV3, a vibrant showcase of art, technology and nostalgia. Let's take a look as we wrap up Nightline this time around. With that, I'm Sabrina Zainal. Thank you for tuning in and take care.